Welcome to Momentum in Real Estate, your guide to success in the dynamic world of real estate. I'm Cory.
And I'm Kristin James. Whether you're just starting out or a seasoned pro, we're here to help you reach new heights.
Success in real estate comes from learning, growing, and serving others.
Join us as we dive into strategies for lead generation, marketing, market trends, and client relationships.
Get ready to ignite your momentum and achieve your goals in real estate.
Let's dive in and unlock your full potential.
This is Momentum in Real Estate.
Our guest today is Michelle Sadownick, a top producing South Florida realtor with over 2 decades of experience and a passion for helping clients find their perfect property. Originally from the Northeast, Michelle combines her deep knowledge of Palm Beach County's luxury market with a background in interior design, giving her a sharp eye for style, value, and investment potential. As the owner of a thriving real estate business and a host on the American Dream TV show, she's known for her white glove service and market expertise. When she's not closing deals, Michelle enjoys yoga, the beach, fine dining, and time with her beloved Pomeranian, Tuscany. Welcome to the podcast.
Good morning, everybody. Hi, Cory. Hi, Kristin.
We're so excited to have you.
I'm excited.
Thank you so much. So tell us a little bit about your real estate story and how you got here.
Let's see. I went to college and then I didn't know what to do, so I got myself into the restaurant business. And I was in the restaurant business for a long, long time. And then I decided that I needed a job. So I went to school for Catherine Gibbs, and it's a white glove secretarial school. And so I had capped out of that job working at a corporation. I worked at GE Capital and many places around, South Florida too, Atlanta, Georgia. And one day when I went to interior design school, and then I had gotten another job where I was going to be selling fabrics and designing chairs and things like that with a company called Valley Forge Fabrics. And that didn't go very well because 9/11 happened. And then when 9/11 happened, I became a secretary again. And so we used to prepare for all the trade shows. And so we named fabrics. So one day I was naming the fabrics and I just started thinking about it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get my real estate license. So that's what I did. And they were very shocked that I said I was going to go bartend and study for my test. So now here we are today.
That's
20 years later.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. So tell us just real quickly, have you been with the same brokerage? Have you bounced around? Like, where do you hang your license currently? What's that
Sure.
look like?
I'm very intuitive, and my first brokerage that I ever went to was Campbell and Rosemary. I didn't know that when you got your license, they sent you all sorts of emails and things like that. But I just happened to be living in Deerfield Beach at the time, and I had gotten the postcard and I had driven by the place, and I don't know, it just was like three things happened, and they pointed to Campbell and Rosemary. So I was there in the beginning for a little while, and then what happened was I started jumping around, and jumping around is not good because it's very disruptive. It's disruptive to the energy and things like that. So fast forward, I've been with Realty Home Advisors for 10 years, and I sort of decided that I wanted to grow my real estate business, get into some higher level sales. I just feel that, selling one multi-million-dollar property a month is not where I want to be. I want to be in the real luxury market. So I joined One Sotheby's 3 weeks ago. So
Wow.
that's like my big news.
Wow. So yeah, a recent brokerage change for you.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh,
It
that's
really is.
exciting. Well, we're really excited to jump into, I feel like you bring a lot to bear to this conversation in terms of your background and your experience. To kick things off, I'd love to talk about like building a brand. This is something that I feel like every realtor should be working towards, whether oftentimes it's not the first thing that people do because they just get into production, and
Mhm.
just have to start making a living. But then I feel like there's a really critical time where establishing and building your brand becomes really important. And it seems like you have taken a tack of like authentic storytelling as a way of building your brand. Can you unpack that for us? Like what elements of storytelling are resonating with your clients or just with clients in general as you think about the luxury market, but really the market in general? How can agents integrate that in their brand?
So we all have a story, okay? And every home has a story. And it's always nice to share a loving story about where you've lived, what you love about the community, what you love about the lifestyle. So with American Dream TV, we actually focus on where we live and what we love, and it's positive media. So I just believe in authenticity and to relatability, and I think that I display that with my brand. I'm like everybody's girl, I can relate to just about anybody. And so building the brand, I get it. You get out of real estate school and they just throw you in. They're just like, I said to the lady, I go, what do I do? I said to the broker, she goes, go out and sell. And I was like, oh my God, okay. So I guess I did. My third deal was a $1.2 million property that I sold. But it's about relationship building. You're building a brand, you're building a relationship, and you're building trust. So you have to be trustworthy. And I also believe in the word. So whenever I say I'm going to do something, I do it. And that ties all into my brand. And then, of course, you get your artwork and that stuff, and you have to continue marketing yourself. So it can be overwhelming, but building a brand is really important. So people know who to go to, where to go to, and why to go to them.
That's so good. So, okay, so your broker said, just go sell. How did you do that? And how did you start to build from there and get leads?
Well, my first three deals were actually referrals. They were hard. I mean, I was communicating with one gentleman for 6 months, and that was the one point. Actually, that was back then, it was like nothing. That was big. Now it's like nothing because everything is 1.5. But my third deal was 1.5. He was in China and he was a corporate owner of a company. And I was emailing him all the time when I was emailing him properties specified to what he was looking for. And one of the key things that I do is I listen. I listen and I always find a way to go back to that particular thing that they're looking for. So he couldn't believe that I was sending him properties like at 3 in the morning. But he didn't know they were coming straight from MLS. So that was one of my deals that I did. So that was the other, and then the other one is a cousin. She gave me a lead, and I just pretended like I knew what I was doing. You just have, if you're a confident person, you just be sincere, and even if you're not confident, just be you.
I love that. That's a great message. Yeah, that applies kind of in so many different contexts. I want to switch gears a little bit. One of our kind of passions is helping, women in real estate and reaching out to, female agents because the struggles we face are unique. And so talk about women supporting women in real estate. Like what have you found is like, why is collaboration so important in a competitive industry and competitive markets? And how can like mentorship strengthen like the confidence that we have and help build women leaders in the industry?
I think collaborating with women is really, really important. Um, we can relate to each other. Sometimes it's difficult to relate to a man, but we all kind of think the same way. Some of us are single, and some of us have to support ourselves. Some of us have children. And I truly, truly love working with women, collaborating and doing deals with women. We just sometimes we're just in sync and we're both intuitive. And when we're intuitive, we just flow together and we just create a really good synergy. My business is women owned. I like to work with women that own businesses as well. For a while, we were like, inferior. I mean, especially coming from a man's world, as I was an executive assistant, I mean, I worked for all men. So we need to find our place in our society now and build together.
Isn't that the truth? Can you describe or talk about, a woman in your life that kind of inspired you or mentored you, helped you, and what that advice you got?
Yeah, I've had a few actually, some people that have taken me under their wing. When I first got my real estate license, my friend Dina, she's the one that helped me pass the test. She helped me study and, we kind of went back and forth and we did flashcards together and she helped me get the license. And then when I got started, she gave me the opportunity to do one of her open houses. And even now, I'm new at One Sotheby's. And, one of the girls said, Yay, you're at One Sotheby's now. We can work together on some things. And so I did an open house and, she gave me a client. Of course, we're going to do a referral. But I mean, I got a really good client out of that. And, I like to help other women and I help people succeed. And like to share my knowledge because I think we all need a mentor. And this particular woman, she's been my friend for 20 years. And when I have a question about something, she's always there. She always picks up her phone and she's always available.
I
Mm.
love that. Like Cory and I have a really close relationship. We're both solo agents, but we're colleagues in every sense of the word. But we just like we're each other's support system. So we
Oh, yeah.
totally get that and hopefully embody that and also like provide a good example for other women in our industry and in our, in our own market as well.
There's days that we have bad days. So when there's somebody there to support us and just say, hey, it's going to be okay, that's very helpful.
We joke that like some days we call to talk about business and other days we call to like trauma dump, and just be like, I can't handle life. Like this is what's happening and everything's falling apart. And um,
Yeah,
so
for
we like need
sure.
each other in lots of different ways. So yeah, we're grateful to have each other and we've got a great network of relationships too in our area. So I'm glad that you've leaned into that and are part of that where you are as well.
I think of our realtors, as friends. A lot of us, in our Delray Beach area, we're very close. When we see each other at a listing or show a property, they're like, oh, well, you're in good hands with Michelle, or, don't worry, Michelle will get you everything. And it's reassuring. And it really is really good for the client too, to know that you're going to be working together to get the home for them.
It is. And there's just something really powerful about validating each other. Even if there's like stuff that you have to deal with behind the scenes, but like in the kind of view of your clients to just lift each other up and I mean I can't think of a better way to like have a smooth transaction and really elevate our industry as well, and to say I know her to be a quality realtor. She's fantastic. She serves her clients really well. Just saying things like that in front of your clients is really powerful.
Oh
So
yeah, and a lot of times I'll do a couple deals with people. We complement each other. We already know how each other works, so it's good.
totally. Let's switch into I really want to talk about habits, mindset. That's kind of a theme for us in a lot of our conversations with guests like yourself. Tell us what daily practices you employ that help you support consistency in your business and just that like ongoing confidence.
Sure. Well, the first thing that I do in the morning is I get up and grab a cup of coffee, and then I head over to hot yoga. So I do Bikram in the morning. I really like it. I love heat. Everybody thinks I'm crazy, but I've got my schedule for each class that I go to every day. I do that, and then I come home and I take the dog out, and my dog is very needy. He's a boy. So we go for a walk and then I'm at my desk by 9 o'clock and I'm pretty much, ready to go. But during my walks with him, what I do is I usually listen to like an Audible book, depending on what I'm interested in that day. Sometimes it's about mindset. Some days it's a good book that somebody recommended. Sometimes it's about trying to, create wealth. It just depends. Sometimes and manifesting things, like sometimes I try to manifest a property for a client because inventory sometimes is very tight. So I'll just like meditate on that. So meditation, exercise, and my dog keeps me very balanced. And of course, you also have to do social things as well. So I do have a lot of female friends. I have more female friends than I have male friends. So, on any given day, I could go out and drink or have fun. So I have so many friends from different parts of my life.
You sound just like my friend Kristin James over here.
Oh, cool.
I'm
Well,
like, who
come
are
to
you going out
Florida.
with? Who are you going out with tonight?
That's what my mom asks me. She's like, "So who are you hanging out with tonight? What's on the docket?"
Yeah.
I love it. It's so sweet. I feel like I could go all the different ways. How about this? How is the market going for you, and what does the market look like?
The market is strange, I think. For me, for some reason, I get a lot of rental calls. And
Mm.
I'm trying to get away from rentals, but they've been my bread and butter for so long. And what I do is I've worked with a lot of investors. So the investors will buy the properties and they're like $250,000 properties, and then they'll want to have them rented out. So, somehow on Google, they think I'm a rental agent and that's it. But, I try to work them. But lately, I've just been kind of giving some of those away. I'll list it, but then I've been giving the rentals away because the rentals are a lot of work here in Florida. And I know there's some agents that I know need a little help. So I boost them up and I give them the leads and I'm like, here you go. If you sell them, you sell them. If not, don't worry about it. There's more to come. And then I'm just kind of working on like getting everything, like my sales up. And it seems that in the higher end market, more luxury market, things are moving a little bit quicker. And I think also in any market, if something is priced right, it will sell. And the only challenge we have here is trying to recover from COVID because we still are. Like the sellers still want what they want for properties and the pricing. And that's one of the challenges we have here. But there are a lot of buyers out there. I just had a house that was like 700,000 and I got 5 offers on the property. And they were all mortgages. So that's probably, the sweet spot for people financing. And then, I had another client that was going to be cash for 4 to 6 million. They're ready to buy. So, there's still a lot of cash. And like last couple of years, it was 50% cash in South Florida.
Yeah, we also have we have a pretty decent mix of kind of cash buyers and buyers using financing. We're in a bit of a second home market here,
Mhm.
high tourism.
Yep.
Yeah, but then we also have the more established clientele that just want to upsize, downsize, whatever.
Oh
So
yeah, we have that too. And then
yeah,
the seasonal part, everyone's trying to escape the Northeast.
yep.
Do you have that there?
Yeah, we call them halfbacks. So they're
Okay.
people who start in New York or the Northeast, they go to
Yeah.
Florida, and then they land in North Carolina. It's like
Oh,
halfway back to the north. But yeah, we have a lot of people who like live in Florida in the winter months and then live in North Carolina in the summer months. So
okay.
yeah, so that's yeah, we just have a variety, of buyers in our market.
You
But
don't
yeah.
have a Southern accent.
No, I'm originally from New York State, so
Okay.
I don't have that. I lived in Minnesota for about 14 years, so sometimes the Minnesota comes out a little bit, but
Okay. I didn't sense that. I lived in Atlanta, Georgia before. That was like one of the funnest times of my life.
oh,
And that Southern charm.
yes,
Love it.
yes. Yeah, it's great. No, I love living here. Cory's born and raised in the area here, so she's a native, but yeah, it's awesome here.
Still no Southern
Um,
accent.
yeah,
My my
you don't have a Southern accent.
my parents are Midwesterners, so
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. You inherited that.
Nice.
Michelle, I'd love to get your perspective on this idea of defining success on your own terms. If you're talking to other real estate agents like our audiences, what advice would you have for them for as you consider like I think we all want to chase long-term growth, but also like an integrated life. And so what's your kind of wisdom for that kind of agent?
I think what I've done is I've picked somebody I want to like model my business after. And I don't get too crazy about it because that's not my business. I want to strive to get to that level. So I pick a few women out there that are in my industry that are very strong in the market, and I try to model my business and my success after them. I think staying consistent and having a schedule is really, really important. And I do not believe that you can do real estate full time, part-time. There's no way. There's so many twists and turns in this industry that you need to be on top of everything. Just recently, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, we got a new form. So now for rentals, there's a flood form, and then there's an opt-in, opt-out for emails for the leases, and then also the contracts. If you're not doing those contracts properly and you're not on top of the market and what's going on in our industry, you're opening yourself up for a lawsuit. So I think that people really, really need to work with a mentor, get a coach if you have to. I coached Mike with Mike Ferry's top buyer agent for a whole entire year. And that was amazing. Also learn scripts. I think scripts are important, knowing what to say, how to say it, when to say it, and when not to talk. It's important.
That's great. So what does your business look like right now, Michelle? You said you're trying to get more leads. What are you doing to maybe do that and trying to get out of the rentals? But what is your business looking like right now, and what are some of your goals?
I have a lot that I do. I'm a premier agent with Zillow, so I keep that going. Zillow's gotten very saturated, like everybody's got a zip code in my area, and it's very small and it's very competitive, but I still keep my Zillow, my premier agent. So I do get leads from that. They're not as much as I used to get, but every so often I get a good one. And then I had homes.com that I was advertising with. So I was advertising with that for a while. I try something different every year. I try to just put my advertising dollars in different places to see what works. And I think the best thing is to really, really work your referrals and work the people that you know and try to do your business like that. And then media is really good too. So if you can do videos and you can do social media and keep your brand out there, that's really going to help too. You'll get leads from Facebook, people will see you, they'll see that you're still in the business, and that's like very important too. Other lead sources, Google. So I have Google as a lead source. And then let's see, there's all sorts of places out there to get leads.
I'm curious, your experience with American Dream TV, eh, like what's kind of behind that? Is that more branding for you? Is that reputation? Are you using that in terms of, I don't know, like garnering, different types of relationships? Like, how does that fit into kind of your like current business and kind of strategy?
Sure. Being an agent or a host of the American Dream has opened up a lot of doors for me. It's put me in places and situations I would never have been in. So I'm a member of the Chamber of Commerce in Delray Beach, and I really didn't have any connections with anybody in the chamber until I started doing American Dream TV. And I interviewed, the CEO, I interviewed the marketing person, and I learned a lot about my city. And you learn about where you live, the ins and outs, and you get to meet a lot of different people. And you find out like about all sorts of like nonprofits, and you learn about where you live. Like Delray Beach is made up of nonprofits. A lot of people come here, it's their second home, and they want to give back to a community. And they come here and they start, a nonprofit, and I've been featuring a few of them on my American Dream TV. So I've developed and created relationships with a lot of different people that I normally wouldn't have been friendly with. So that's a big thing. It's not necessarily about the leads. I mean, I know that there's agents that have gotten leads and have gotten business from it. Maybe it will come, but that's not really why I'm doing it. I have a lot of fun. I think it's like, for me, I think it's substituting my coaching because I feel like I'm being coached. It's created a lot of confidence in myself that I didn't have before.
Mm.
Because being in front of a camera, that's big. And
Mhm.
and being on a TV show, which is national, people look at my stuff and they're just like, I still watch your stuff. It's so cute, blah, 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 blah. And everybody has something to say. But I enjoy doing it. And I've learned a lot, and I've learned a lot about the media. And they had a lot of conference calls and things like that, and I learned all about the Canva. It's educational for me, I think. So it's a door opener, it's educational, and I get to meet people that I normally wouldn't meet. Probably, some people are utilizing it to showcase celebrities. And it's really what it is. It's positive media. It's 80% luxury, lifestyle culture, and 20% real estate.
That is
So
beautiful.
yeah, and I like to highlight nonprofits like the Herd Foundation. That's an equine therapy, which was amazing. I learned about that. I learned about the vets and how they heal through equine therapy. That was awesome.
Mm.
The Delray Chamber, I went to some of the events and I filmed the events. And now I go to those events every year, and I know a lot more people in the Delray Beach area and the nonprofits. The next one that I'm going to be featuring is a builder, Lemansky Construction, and they're a Boston-based company, and they moved to Florida. So we're featuring one of their projects, which is absolutely stunning. So I learned a lot from that. I could go on and on. Seriously.
That
It's
is
done
so
so much for
beautiful.
me. It
Yeah.
really has.
Oh, that's really cool. And what a really neat way to increase your sphere and get to know more people and serve them with your real estate career as well. I love that. Oh, that's so
Mhm.
great. So, looking at, I know we're wrapping up on our time here, looking at the new year, what are you excited about for this next 2026? I can't believe it's November 4th. It's blowing my mind.
Well, the holidays are going to be really neat because
Yeah.
I'm with this new company, and the new company has a lot of projects that they represent. Pier 66 is one of their biggest projects in Fort Lauderdale. So I'm just looking forward to really expanding and growing with One Sotheby's. So in my other company, I was a big fish, and now I'm a little fish. So I have a lot to learn. And I'm feeling a little overwhelmed, but I'm going to slowly but surely learn all of the new systems like WeChat and everything, and then learn more about my marketing with One Sotheby's, and then just tying everything all together, maybe getting some really good high-end listings, I'm hoping.
That's awesome. This conversation's been really enjoyable, Michelle, and we're so grateful for your time and yeah, just sharing your experience, your business, your insights. It's been really, really valuable. So thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Momentum in Real Estate. We hope you found valuable insights and strategies to propel your real estate journey forward.
If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe to our podcast and leave us a review. Your feedback helps us continue to deliver content that resonates with you. Remember, success in real estate is about continuous learning, growth, and serving others. Keep that momentum going and watch your business thrive.
Until next time, keep pushing forward and bringing your real estate dreams to life.
This is Cory Wall
and Kristin James signing off from Momentum in Real Estate.